Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, issue number 3 from Marvel Comics. So yeah, this is the Ghost Rider series with the Hood as the Ghost Rider. And in the last issue, he made a deal with vampires. And yeah, he's kind of working with vampires still. Uh, so we have a moment that feels very much like something out of Punisher. In fact, it's pretty much the scene from Punisher Warzone, the movie, where we have a mafia family eating dinner, and then all of a sudden the lights go out, and then when they come back on, instead of seeing Punisher, we see the Hood as the Ghost Rider with his guns, and he starts shooting everybody. And then the vampires come in, and he's like, feast on everyone that you want except for this one, talking about the leader of the mafia. I said he wants her because he has plans for her. And so, yeah, they go and start feeding on the people and taking their money and stuff. And we have like a moment later on where he sees his separated wife and daughter. I don't know if they're still like together but separated or if they're divorced or whatever. But basically, his ex and his daughter, or I should say his daughter and his baby's mama, show up. And, his daughter still loves him and all that stuff. The mom, not so much. He pays her like child support plus like 100 times over, as well as gives her the apartment. And she's like, you're not going to be able to win me over. And he basically says, we'll see about that. I can be persuasive as hell. So it's like, oh, okay. It's weird because it's like trying to walk a fine line between him being not a hero, I guess more of an anti-hero, but also he's so villainous. So, like, I don't know why exactly he wanted the Ghost Rider powers. I guess it's for power, because he is robbing a bunch of mafia people and then taking their money and then rising up the ranks. So I guess that could be the reason why. It just feels kind of weird to go about it in this way. But we also have a lot of Johnny in this, where we have Johnny waking up in the woods. In the last issue, he was attacked by a giant spider. For anyone who doesn't remember, he was like going into a cave to fight a giant spider, and then he lost his Ghost Rider powers and became human. And so the spider attacked him, and he got saved by Zeb. And so he wakes up in the woods, and Zeb's like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And I thought this was kind of funny, where we see Johnny, he like lifts up his shirt, and he has bite wounds, and they're still bleeding. And all I can think of is, Zeb, you went into the cave, you saved this guy, you dragged him all the way out into the woods. You made a bed for him. You started a fire. You put his jacket on him to keep him warm. You couldn't have at least maybe bandaged his wound? He's still bleeding out and you're just going to leave him like that? I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Like, it would have made a lot more sense if he had like bandages around and the bandages were like a little bit bloody because, some of the blood has seeped through. But instead, no, Johnny just lifts up his shirt, which isn't bloody at all, to reveal two giant bite marks. There's like 2 holes in his body that's bleeding profusely. And it's like, dude, you couldn't have done anything to take care of that? But that basically kind of just explains that you have bits of the Ghost Rider still in you. Like, even though it left its mark on you. Like, there's still some cinders left inside of you. And you need that Ghost Rider power. Because we see Johnny, he's like throwing up black liquid. It's like tar or whatever. And Zeb's like, that's not just the spider's poison. And Johnny's like, no, it's a hollowness. And Zeb's like, yeah, it's the spirit is not just a part of you. It is you. Like, whether you like it or not, you are the Ghost Rider. And so ripping it out of you is like ripping out an organ. Or it's like basically having withdrawals for someone who's been a junkie all their life. Like, your body's rejecting your new normal. And I kind of like this because one of the things I hate is the constant, oh, the spirit of vengeance is a curse. I got to get rid of it. Because we keep going back and forth where Johnny sees it as a curse. And then eventually he's okay with it. And then the next volume, he sees it as a curse again. And then he's okay with it. And then he sees it as a curse again. It's like, dude, make up your mind. Is this a curse or is this not? Like, at this point, like, you can't get rid of the powers. Zeb is literally telling you, it's not just a part of you, like, it is you. You are the Ghost Rider. You can't get rid of it. Like, this is something you're just gonna have to deal with for the rest of your life. At that point, it's like, just accept it. But he can't. Or at least it seems like he can't, and then he can, and then he can't, and then he can, and it just goes back and forth, and I just hate this. I always just kind of hated that. I just once he accepts it, just have him accept it for good. I hate this back and forth. But yeah, they get attacked by wolves, and so as they're being attacked by wolves, Zeb's like trying to fight off the wolves. Johnny's trying to get to his bike where he has a shotgun, and one of the wolves bites him, and that's when Johnny like he gets saved by Zeb because like one of the wolves is biting him. Zeb shoots his blast at the wolf and kills it, and then Johnny sees Zeb being attacked, and that's when some of the spirit within Johnny comes to the forefront. Like he doesn't transform or anything, but his shotgun turns into like the hell shotgun that we've seen in early volumes, like back in the 90s. And he's like, some of the spirit still resides within me. And so he starts shooting at the giant wolves and just incinerating them with his hell shotgun blast. And there's more, but I'm not gonna spoil everything. I do like that we're getting more Johnny. Like I was a little bit upset when we just kind of got rid of like we saw Johnny in the beginning, he lost his powers, and then we just moved on to the Hood because I never found the Hood to be an interesting character. Like I will say that his Ghost Rider design is pretty cool. Like the way the Hood looks as the Ghost Rider is awesome. But the Hood himself, like as a character, he's never been like all that great of a character. I think Percy is doing like the best job he can because at least here, like he's somewhat interesting. But I still rather not have him be the Ghost Rider. I still rather just have the series be focusing on Johnny. And again, like we literally ended the last volume with Johnny seeing his girlfriend slash partner being dragged to hell alive. So you would think like maybe we could have like the next volume be Johnny trying to find a way to get back into hell so that he can save her because she's not dead. She didn't die and then go to hell. She was dragged to hell while still alive. You would think, hey, this girl, like she's my partner. She's someone I'm in a relationship with. I'm sure there's romantic feelings there, whether it's love or not, I don't know. But they did seem to really care for each other and they were constantly having sex. So there's something there. You would think he would be trying to focus on trying to save her. Instead, we started this volume with him going into a cave to fight a giant spider and then losing his powers. And it's like, why is he going to a cave to fight a giant spider when there's more pressing matters to attend to? Like, we could have had this whole, like, Orpheus journey, where Johnny's going into hell to try to save his loved one and just the adventures he goes along the way and them trying to escape and things like that. But no, instead, we have the Hood getting his powers instead and fighting the Mafia Punisher style, which, okay, that's kind of cool because, I love the Punisher. So this is basically the closest we'll get to what if the Punisher had the Spirit of Vengeance powers outside of course, Cosmic Ghost Rider. But Cosmic Ghost Rider is just mentally, he's so far gone that he's not really even the Punisher anymore. So this is like as close as we can get to like, Frank Castle, gritty 90s Frank Castle with the Spirit of Vengeance powers. Instead, he's teaming up with vampires, I guess. But yeah, he's like fighting the mafia, stealing their money, and then he's trying to buy back his ex-wife, separated wife, whatever you want to call it, former lover. He's trying to like win her over through money, and she's not okay with that. And so we have that whole thing. So that's like, I guess it's kind of interesting, but again, I don't care for it enough to want that be a series. Right? Like, I don't want it to see a Ghost Rider with the Hood as the main character. I want Johnny, and I want Johnny doing Johnny things as Ghost Rider. And at least we're kind of getting a little bit more of that in this issue, so that's a step in the right direction. So we could have just not had the Hood becomes a Ghost Rider thing. Just have Johnny doing his own thing, trying to save his lover. Maybe he gets involved in the whole blood hunt situation that's going down. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. Artwork is pretty good. There is like some moments that just made me kind of laugh. Like for example, I mentioned it earlier where Johnny has the bite wounds on his torso and he's like bleeding profusely and Zeb like didn't do anything to try to stop that. And then we have like another moment where we see the Hood and he's like holding a human heart and then he bites into it as these people shoot at him. And then it cuts to the people and the people are being shot. And then we cut back to the Hood and he has his guns out. Like, I get what's going on, but the paneling is just weird because we see him, nothing in his hand except for a heart. And then we see people getting shot. And then we cut back to him and he has guns out and the heart is gone. So it's like it would have just made a lot more sense if he just walked out with a heart in one hand, a gun in the other, and then he bites the heart as he raises his gun, and then we see the people being shot. Like that would have made a lot more sense. Again, it's like it's not one of those things where like I didn't know what was going on. Like I understood, but it's just paneling wise, it just weird. It's like if I were to see this in a movie, this feels like continuity is off because he's empty-handed with a heart. People get shot, cut back to him, and all of a sudden he has guns in his hands and the heart is gone. So this is just like nitpicking. Other than that, like artwork is fine. Like I don't have any problems with it. Like there were just like those two moments that really stood out to me that like I kind of chuckled at. Like the characterization is fine. Johnny's so Johnny, but I am getting a little bit annoyed with the back and forth. Is this a curse? Is this not a curse? Accepting the Ghost Rider powers, not accepting it. Like just pick one and stick with it. The hood. This is Percy doing the best job he can with the hood. This is like the best the hood has ever been, which is not a high bar because the hood is a terrible, terrible character. So at least, you know, to make the hood somewhat interesting, that's a feat in itself. Other than that, yeah, it was okay. Again, this is not like a series that I wanted, but at least it's okay. I'd rather have something else. I'd rather have just, you know, a continuation of the previous volume, but you know, you're basically like, I don't want to say he's trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, but it's basically you got shit ingredients and you're trying to do the best you can with it, and you're making something at least somewhat edible, but it's still not like gourmet fine cuisine, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling at this point. There you go. There's Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, issue number 3 from Marvel Comics. It was okay, I guess. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.